Welcome, everybody, to another episode of our COVID Crisis Comeback Challenge Sunday Alumni Mastermind meeting. And I'm really excited that you're all here. We have a nice group tonight. And as always, I need to let you all know that this mastermind meeting tonight is sponsored by my little company, Integrative Wellness and Development, LLC. This whole program is about personal development and education. We do not provide therapy nor any means of assessing, diagnosing, treating, or preventing any illnesses or conditions. That if you are experiencing something that would require some of help in those areas, that we recommend you consult with your family physician or a licensed professional in your area. And with that, tonight, for those of you joining us for the first time, this is a weekly session that we have where we are sharing tips and tools and techniques that I have discovered and found in my 40 years of working in the field of personal development, personal and business coaching, and process improvement consulting. And the way that this works is we have a 3-session webinar challenge, and after that we have these meetings every Sunday. We are about to have another round of those 3 sessions this coming weekend, so that's very exciting. We have an incredible program coming up. It will be on Saturday the 20th, beginning at 1 o'clock. It'll go from 1 to 3. There'll be a break, and then 5 to 7 p.m. On Saturday, we have Dr. Kevin McKay is going to be joining us at the 1 o'clock hour, and he will be talking with us about integration and about working in harmony with body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And I also have some exercises we'll be doing in that area of integration and alignment. In the afternoon session, beginning at 5 o'clock, that will run from 5 to 7, we will have Rodney Jones. And Rodney Jones, for many of you who know him, he's a world-renowned jazz musician, master teacher, and instructor in music and guitar, and also has been lecturing in personal development for probably around 50 years. And then also we have a special guest, Mr. Glenn Andrew, who will be working with us on the area of collaboration and identifying values in our decision making that are important in understanding who we are and why we think and do the things we think and do, and also how to find alignment with potential collaborators and partners and co-workers using this system of shared values. So lots of really great tools and exercises coming up this weekend. If you are thinking of joining up or have someone you'd like to invite, just send them to our website, rebootrestart.com, REBOOTRESTART.com, rebootrestart.com. They can register there. They will also be emailed a section of our guidebook. There are 3 keys to your Crisis Comeback Challenge. That guidebook is always being updated, so new cool stuff will be added. And if we added new cool stuff since December, which I think we did, you'll be getting some of that new cool stuff. Okay, so I promised that our topic today was going to be about discovering your life purpose. And the reason I came up with this was twofold. Number one, in order to really come up with what is an appropriate goal for us to pursue in our life, and this whole program is about learning to assess who you are, learning to create the right types of goals for yourself, and then create the right plan and use the right tools to draw that goal to you and you to that goal. And one of the aspects we do is we do an assessment about our superpowers, our desires, our values, our dreams, our hopes, but also our life purpose. And for those of you who will move on from the journal, people start out with my Goal Achievement Mastery Journal. And normally we're going to have a 90-day phase with that. And then from there, people have the opportunity to move on to our Your 9 Steps to Goal Achievement Mastery workbook and lecture series. And so in the first workbook, many of you have that workbook. If you do, this topic tonight is going to relate very deeply to one of the facets in workbook 1, and it has to do with aligning with your purpose. And so tonight we're going to talk about that. So if I were to ask you, what does it mean to live a life of purpose? How would you answer that question?
Mike, I would say knowing what I would like to do, what I want to do, what I need to do, and then find and discover that life is providing me every opportunity, circumstance, and experience in order to do that. So I am being reaffirmed in what it is that I want and need, but I'm recognizing it within the context, within the fabric of my own life.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Who else has a definition of purpose?
Mike, I'm just going to say, like, in the most basic form, it's something that, you know, it comes from within ourselves. And you know that it's important. You know, this is pretty basic. And, you know, it's like, I guess you could say, you know, as we spiritually develop, like we recognize that, I was just talking with someone today, we were talking about just being creative. And sometimes that's enough for people. I just make things, I put it out there, and that can be great, you know, but I think that when we recognize there's even a higher place that we go to, which is, you know, where it's about love and service. And I think when we do things from that place, you know, there's a natural purposefulness about it that we feel.
Excellent. That's beautiful. Yeah, Kara.
I think of it as like when somebody is uniquely adding value to oneself and adding value to the world in equal proportions. That's kind of how I think of purpose, when we can aligning with one's purpose.
Yeah, do you see how all of your definitions are connected? Right? And the real sneaky ninja trick is that for any of you who have been working with the journal, my Goal Achievement Mastery Journal, and for those of you who will be working with it, you'll see that in a very gentle, subtle way, that journal is helping you focus in. You know, a good definition of a life of purpose is just what you've been talking about. It's a life that has a definite aim, a direction, a set of goals and objectives, right? That are not only contributing to your fulfillment, your sense of well-being, your sense of realization, but as Kara said, it's also making an impact, a positive impact on the world and the people around you, right? Hence, a purpose-driven life. You've heard of that. It's a big concept in corporate management and development. Is, you know, is your company really clear about what its purpose is, and are you purpose-focused? Are all of the things that you do aligned and in harmony with that purpose, that goal, that service that you have committed to providing, right? And so when you look at the journal, you can see that the journal is gently guiding you through that, right? It gets you inspired in the morning. Then it sneakily asks you, right, to do an affirmation of today I am this, right? Today I am this. Today I have this goal I'm going to focus on, right? At least 3 goals, you focus on that day. Today, these are my things to do, and these are the things that I not want to do. I do not want to do, because the things that I want to do and choose to do that are in harmony with my purpose are the ones that are going to allow me to make progress. The things that interfere or sabotage with achieving my purpose are the things I want to stay away from. Then we move into service. Excuse me. How can I be of service to life today, right? And it moves down into more specifically, how somewhere today did I gain some wisdom, some love, and some additional freedom? And did I help someone else achieve some wisdom, some love, and some freedom? These are all aspects of providing value, as you all talked about, to other people. And that's why the journal takes you through that. And then workbook 1, as you move along, workbook 1 talks about dealing with your passions, your strengths. What are some of your fears? What are some of the things, the challenges you've had? What are some key dreams that you've had? We pay a lot of attention to our dreams in this program because our dreams give us a lot of clues about what is our purpose in this life, right? What did we choose to embrace when we came here? A lot of that information is being dealt with in both the journal and in workbook 1 for those of you who decide to pursue that. So I want to take you through a little bit of an exercise. And in this exercise, we're going to help, focus in a little more on purpose, right? Sense of purpose in your life. So my first question to you, and you can do this as a contemplation exercise. You can choose to, for those of you who've attended this for a while, you know about your inner boardroom. Some of you might want to call it your inner workshop or your inner temple. But you can see yourself in this safe, positive inner place and see yourself seated in front of a big screen, a movie screen. And I'm just going to ask you some questions and just go with what the first thing that you see is. Okay. So what I'd like for you to do is transport yourself back to when you were younger, maybe when you were a child, sometime in your past, and think about 1 or 2 moments that were truly exceptional. These were moments that gave you a clarity, an aha, a real passionate recognition about something you were doing or feeling that it was important, right? You knew in every cell in your body and every bone in your body, this situation that was happening was a cornerstone experience. It was really important. So just for a moment, go back to one of those really key moments in your past that you recognize as being really important, really impacting you. And it may be something that happened during the day, or it may be a dream that you had. Now, once you've recognized that, really step into it with your whole being and look around. Look around and see who else was there. And how were they impacted how did the experience make you feel? And how did the experience make them feel? What did this experience teach you about a strength that you had that maybe you hadn't recognized? What did this experience teach you about a gift you had to give others that you hadn't recognized? And really connect with the emotion, the positive emotions of this experience. You know? Now let's look back on our life and think about what was one of your most challenging moments in your life. Something that really almost brought you to your knees. Something that caused you to have to draw on your absolute most strengths, skills, creativity, faith. Think about that situation. Think about how it challenged you. Think about how it changed you. And then think about what strengths, what confidence, what power did that give you? That might truly affect your life and impact the life of others. Now, the next step, I'd like to reflect on during your life journey, think about moments where you felt completely connected to the joy and the flow of life. You know how that feels when you're in the flow. You're really connected and you're really in harmony with it. And things are just moving forward naturally, effortlessly. And these are moments of total and absolute joy, relaxed celebration. You feel strong, alert, absolutely effortless, unself-conscious, confident, relaxed. Think about a moment like that in your life. Now, for those of you who've worked with me before, you know I really love the concept of taking experiences and treating them as if they were diamonds. And now we're going to string them into a necklace, or they're puzzle pieces on a table and we're going to fit them together to complete the puzzle. What I ask you to do now is pay attention to some of these pieces from the first 3 questions and just list them on a piece of paper, on your piece of paper, some key words, right? Some key strengths from question 1, you know, key things that really inspired and motivated you, helped you connect with your sense of strength and confidence. What were some of those key things? What were the experiences that you had in those challenging times that helped you understand things about your resilience and your strength and your creativity that maybe you hadn't put a whole lot of attention on before? What are some of those strengths and tools? And then the next puzzle piece was, what were the things that you were doing when you had that sense of joy and that sense of effortlessly being in the flow of life? What are some of the things that help you recapture that? Because the last part of this experience is defining your purpose, like making a story out of the pieces. which is very similar to the process I take you through when you're interpreting a dream. In the dream interpretation section of your journal, we talk about listing the experiences as symbols, defining the symbols, then piecing them together to tell a story. And the story gives us guidance and help with a particular goal or challenge. So take those pieces and form a sentence that starts with, my purpose in this life is to, then take a piece from the first exercise, take a piece from the second exercise and the third exercise, right? And come up with a sentence that speaks about your purpose. And I'll give you an example. I had a foundational dream when I was a kid, and I was very shy, very overweight, very self-conscious, didn't have any friends. And I had this foundational dream where I basically went into my classroom, looked out the window. There were 10,000 people in the courtyard, and I began to speak to them from my heart. And we had this incredible connection, and they laughed, they cried, they stood up, they applauded. I cried, I laughed. I had this confidence about what I was communicating, that I was supposed to be there and I had something to give them that was important, and that they were really grateful for it. And when I woke up, I was a different person. And when I went into school the next day, I was a different person, because I had recognized that I had this ability to communicate from my head and my heart and my spirit, and that what I had to share was something people were hungry for and would appreciate it. Right? So that was that exceptional moment in my life, and those exceptional lessons about what my strengths were. The second question for me was, what was that challenge that brings you to your knees? And you all know my story, many of you know my story of losing everything and being homeless, living on the street, losing all my money, my girlfriend, my car, my dog, my self-esteem. But being able to lean on the spiritual connection I had and the personal development principles that I knew I could use as tools. And the three principles that we cover in the COVID Crisis Comeback Challenge, which we'll talk about this weekend, those principles of concentration, contemplation, focus, creativity, resiliency, and resourcefulness, and then collaboration and partnership, co-workership, right? That experience highlighted those things for me. And with my confidence in my ability to share and teach and motivate and inspire, I knew that my purpose in this life was going to be to really master the use of those tools, to build a life for myself beyond any of my dreams, and be able to share that process with other people to help them build a life that they dreamed of. And that's the whole purpose of this whole program that I've started. So do you see how I took pieces and I formed them into my purpose? My purpose is to use my experience, the tools I've gained, the inspiration I've gained, be able to share that with others so that they can be inspired, they can overcome their challenges, and they can visualize, create the right goals for themselves, create the right processes for themselves, create the right collaboration for themselves, and build a life that's a better life for themselves. So now make your sentence. I'm going to give you time now. Take the next 4 or 5 minutes and make your sentence by putting the pieces together. just like you would in interpreting a dream. Then we're going to come back and talk about what you came up with. Okay, just a show of hands. How many folks have put their sentence together? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people need like another 2 minutes? Good. All right, I'll give you another 2 minutes. Then we're going to go into breakout rooms. There'll be small rooms of like 3 people. And I'm going to ask you to share with each other what you discovered from the exercise and what, purpose sentence, life purpose sentence you came up with. And this is an exercise, so you're not signing a contract for life that now you have to make this your life purpose. It's just this is a process. This is a tool for you, and you can go through this again on your own at home and maybe come up with something a little more detailed. But I wanted you to think about this and also practice using the process that we use in interpreting a dream. It's very similar. Okay, y'all ready to go into small breakout groups? And, listen to each other. Again, these are going to be small groups. So listen to each other, be inspired by each other, and maybe something that one of the persons in your small group shares will give you some clarity about your sentence, and, just share ideas and have fun with it. See what you come up with, see what you discover, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little more large group work with this. So if you would go ahead, unmute yourselves. And you will see an invitation coming up right now. Go ahead, accept the invitation to join the small group breakout room. And then I will call you back. You'll have a minute to come back after you get the signal. Okay, Samarit, if you can hear me, you've been asked to join room number 4. Welcome back, everybody. Man, this time has flown by. So raise your hand if you discovered something interesting for yourself in the small group discussion about your purpose. Anybody discover something about your purpose? Nice. Was it on purpose or porpoise? Which of the two? Both.
Yeah, both.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, this, we only had a short amount of time, and this is a very deep subject. This is something that people spend, weeks, months, years contemplating on, but it's important that you start somewhere in reconnecting with this. And it's a very important part of the Your 9 Steps program. And that is understanding that we come into this world with many clues, and we have many experiences that are there to help lead us along the road to discovering who we really are. And I actually ask myself this question at least weekly. Who are you really? Right? Remember who you really are. Remember why you are really here. And remember how you chose to serve and who you chose to serve. And I ask these questions regularly because they help me reconnect with my sense of purpose. Right? And my sense of purpose came from the experiences that I've had since I was a kid. So nobody can tell me they're not real and not valid. And also, I've proven them on the battlefield of life, in business, in relationships, in health, success and failures. That sense of purpose, those answers to those questions, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know what I chose to do to serve. I know what I chose to accomplish. I know who I choose to serve and why. And everything else in life might be unpredictable, like, the last year. Who would have predicted that, right? Lots of unpredictable things happen in life. But who we are at the very core of ourselves, what our life has taught us and molded us and inspired us and scared the heck out of us to discover, cannot be taken away and cannot be affected by transient things that happen in the world, right? So it's really important to revisit this. And I think it's just like, a company, when a new company starts, they talk about what is our mission statement, what is our purpose? What is our mission statement? What are our company values that we put on the wall? What's our purpose, right? Otherwise, it's just, we're here to make money. How does that differentiate you from everybody else? And is that goal alone going to sustain you through the lows and the highs? Is that going to motivate and attract the kind of people you want working in your organization, right? You might find if that's what your mission statement is, the people you attract are going to be in harmony with that limited mission statement. And then you're really not going to have the depth of character, of spirituality, of camaraderie that you're looking for in a company. And the same thing is true for ourselves. If we don't have a clear idea of who we are, why we're here, what is the purpose we chose to live our life by, right? It's not too late to discover those things. It's not too late to change the definition of those things. It's not too late to become reacquainted with yourself. It's never too late for any of that. But it starts with asking those questions, and it starts going back in time and looking for the diamonds, looking for the pieces, looking for the clues, right? And then some of you are really, really clear on who you are, what your purpose is, why you're here, and how you're going to get there. Some of you are really clear on that, and I applaud you. But it's still very valuable to revisit this exercise, because you might find as we grow and expand and unfold, we might discover new and additional purposes or just brand new purposes. Life has said you graduated from elementary school, it's time for high school. You graduated from high school, it's time for undergraduate, or it's time for graduate school. The higher we go in our competencies, our state of consciousness, our strength and purpose, the greater the challenges come and the more the obstacles come to help us either strengthen our understanding and the firmness of our connection with our purpose, or we must navigate, change, adapt, and evolve, right? And whether you're an individual or a company, it's important to continue to reassess and reevaluate. Are we continuing to head in the right direction? Or do we need to reevaluate? Do I need to revisit my purpose? Have I been kind of swayed to doing certain things, sometimes out of survival? Sometimes it just kind of happened and I'm going with the flow of it. Or sometimes, I didn't know what to do and I just kind of went with it, we all have those periods in our life, but it's important to regularly stop and take inventory. Is where I am, what I'm doing, who I am, what I believe, what my attitudes are, and my plans, my goals, and my processes, are they in line with where I want to go? Right? So that's what this program is all about. It's to give you tools. It's to give you exercises. It's to give you experiences, but also, and probably most importantly, it's to give you processes you can use again and again and again, every day, every week, every month, every quarter, that help you continue to reconnect with who you are. What is it you want to do? Why do you want to do that? How is that going to affect others? When is it going to happen? What do you need to accomplish that? Right? All of those things that come are key ingredients to goal achievement mastery. This program gives you those things and takes you through them. And you can apply them in your life. You can apply them in your work. You can apply them in your health, your relationships. We are regularly having these challenges. Mark Bills is our, dean of challenges, in our program. He comes up with these amazing challenges that really help us deep dive into how do we use the process of goal achievement to make changes and experience growth in our personal growth, in our health. We'll be doing challenges later on with relationships and finances and all kinds of aspects of your life. So that's what we're about. This weekend, we're having another challenge. What is the purpose of the challenge? The purpose is to continue to find those people who are looking to learn more about who they are, why they're here, to give them a process to discover what are the right goals to set for themselves that are congruent with who they are and why they are and where they are. And then what's a process they can use to move forward into creating the right plans and getting the right cooperation and coordination and collaboration with the right people, and how to make those things happen. So that's who we are. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here, how we're doing it. And I'm looking forward to this coming weekend. Please, if you've been having any benefit whatsoever from the last 6 months or from just tonight, and you know of someone who's looking for clarity in their sense of purpose, looking for an opportunity to assess what they really should be focusing on, looking for help in setting goals and achieving them. If you know anybody like that, please invite them to register at rebootrestart.com. They automatically come into our email system, and they'll be sent the access information, the Zoom link to join us. It's going to be, those of you who've attended the last 3, we've done 3 so far. There's a little bit that's repeated in each of those because these are things that need to be repeated a lot to give us the ability to revisit them and master them. But also I bring different people in for each session who have a different set of experiences, success, tools, and wisdom. And for those of you who know Dr. Kevin McKay, for those of you who know the amazing Rodney Jones, for those of you who know Glenn Andrew, or especially those of you who've already started with Workbook 1 and know the bank system of evaluating your values, you're going to get tremendous value out of this weekend, things that you didn't experience the last 3. And also the best of, the things you did experience. There are certain core exercises I do every time because they're that important. We'll be revisiting your inner boardroom and working with the alignment of spirit, mind, memory, emotions, and physical body, and working together as a team. We'll be looking at using your creativity, piecing together your dreams, symbols, and experiences. We'll be looking at tools for really diving deep into our values and sense of purpose and understanding how that relates to other people and how to find help from other people. You know, my life has been a constant search to learn, to find the right people to learn from and partner with, and to also continually develop my ability to share tools that are valuable for others. And they've served me well. And I don't ever have to do anything again if I didn't want to. But my sense of purpose was so strong about this program, so strong about learning the skills and techniques and things that I've been sharing, that I could not do this. And I invite you to continue to explore in your own self, in your own life. What is the purpose that's calling to you? It's never too late. It's never too late to wake up and know what I have to do today has a purpose and affects the world. You may not even realize what you're doing does that. And the clue might just be in how you do it and why you do it and from where inside of you do it. That could make a difference and turn your life completely around tomorrow just by connecting with those things. Give it a try, and we'll dive in more deeply next weekend. Mark, do you want to say something before we close?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I was with Carol Lidstone in our little group. It was a really little group. And we both agreed that we have seen tremendous change since we both joined and started to work with the journal and became part of this group. And one of the things I always find interesting is the little synchronicities. So I just gotten off the phone with my son, and I was talking about how excited I was about this one particular event. And I said, you know, I guess it was the fact it was authentic, you know, it was authentic people. But before I had mentioned anything to Carol, the first thing out of her mouth was she was talking about authenticity and the impact and the importance of that, you know, in what she was discovering. And it was like that word just jumped out at me. And I see this happen like so often, particularly around our events here. And I just wanted to say, it's one thing I really love about this group, Mike, and about what you're presenting, is it is authentic. And it really helps, I think, all of us tune in to what is possible. You know, we're really tapping into things within our lives, and piecing it together and seeing that there is a kind of a magic that, you know, all these pieces do fit together, and we have these experiences with each other where we're on the same page, and there's a certain magic to it. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Well, thank you, Mark. And you've been a big part of why, you know, these events are powerful, and with the study buddy groups you've helped to create, and our whole back office, so to speak. You know, when you buy a journal, that's just one piece. You're getting, you know, you're getting my heart and time and soul, but you're also getting these wonderful study buddy group facilitators, you know, like Mark and Emily and Maybeth. You're getting hours and hours of their time. They're not paid to do this. You know, I hope very soon, and we'll talk about that in future meetings, that there is a way of compensating, and there will be a way to compensate these people for what they're doing. I really don't care how that happens for me. And it's really interesting story. We're going to go a little late, but you know, I have these expenses of things to run this program and to, you know, do certain things. And, you know, we haven't sold hundreds and hundreds of journals. You know, we've sold dozens of them, right? Because we're still trying to get a feel for how to connect with the world and advertise. But you know, as soon as, you know, bills start to come up and we look at, you know, how are we going to pay for this? A different area of my businesses just blossoms and it takes care of it, right? So I don't worry about that. I just focus on my purpose. I focus on this program, continue to build it, grow it, be of greater service. We're going to provide more and more products. We have more guidebooks being developed. We have more online courses that'll be developed. We'll be doing in the future, we'll be doing crisis comeback challenges, but we'll also be doing the secret of goal achievement mastery, right? Challenges and the secret of, purposeful parenting, right? We'll be doing all kinds of challenges for people to help them in growing in different areas of their life. So I have complete trust, but I'm going to continue to learn as much as I can and do as much as I can and enlist the help of as many people as I can so that this continues to grow and provide even more service to you and to other people. And also to provide other people the opportunity to be part of this magic of what's going on here and grow and gain some skills. We have people all over the world being helped right now in gaining skills and trying to support their families and, getting a little business thrown their direction to help pay some bills. And we're helping contribute to the fight against childhood sexual slavery. We're buying meals for several hundred people in some of these programs. We're making a difference, and we'll continue to do that. So I apologize for keeping you a little late. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for the effort that you are putting into this program, into your journal, into your process, into your life, and into the lives of others. I don't have to say it, but you know how much I love you all, how much I appreciate you, and how much I appreciate the impact that you will have and are having on the world. I believe we can change the world, but we do it one person at a time, and it starts with us. Then from there, it expands and grows naturally. So have a great rest of your evening. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, right? Happy Valentine's Day to you. And lots of love to you. Bring that love into the rest of your evening and the rest of your week. And please invite whoever you can to this weekend. Just send them to rebootrestart.com. And we're going to have a great time. And you really will love what our 3 guest speakers are going to bring to you. And I'll have some good stuff too. So have a great night and love you. And we'll talk to you next Saturday. All right.